I'm now going to introduce you to our project coordinator, and that's Finian Joyce, who will set the context for us about where it came from and what initiated this programme. Finian.
And true to say, don't forget to unmute there, Finian.
Yeah. Thank you, Greg. Yeah, I have done that. Thank you very much. You have my slides ready there, Greg?
We are ready to go.
Okay. Thank you. My name is Finian Joyce, and I'm the Chief Fire Officer here in Ireland and the project coordinator for the BFireSafe at School project. The project started in October 2018 and is due to finish next month in October 2021. I'm also Secretary of FEU, the Federation of European Fire Officers, which represents senior fire officers in 24 EU countries. And I've been in that position for the last 11 years. So thus my contacts in Europe that I currently possess. The BFireSafe at School project is the first project funded by the Erasmus programme that promotes fire safety awareness in post-primary schools. I'd like to give you a brief overview, the background to the project, how and why it was developed, and what are the project aims. Next slide. In advance of submitting our project application, we carried out a needs analysis and tried to determine the scale of fire deaths and injuries in EU countries. And this graph shows that the scale of fire deaths in Eastern Europe is 5 times higher than in Central or Western Europe. Next slide. Similarly, the scale of fire injuries from fire is 3 times higher in Eastern Europe than Central Europe and 4 times higher than Western Europe. Next slide. And as part of our needs analysis, we also issued online questionnaires to 1,800 pupils and 550 teachers at post-primary level in our 7 partner countries. And we asked them a range of questions about their knowledge of fire safety and the need for fire safety education. And the results showed that there were significant gaps in their level of knowledge of fire safety and confirmed the need for more fire safety education at post-primary level. Next slide. At European level, I conducted a survey among my FEU fire service colleagues to determine the extent to which there is a programme of fire safety education in place at post-primary level in EU countries. And this slide shows that most EU countries have no standardised fire safety education programme at post-primary level. And it became obvious that there was a gap in fire safety education and that we should seize the opportunity to address this with the funding available from the Erasmus Plus programme. And that is why we developed the BFireSafe at School project. Next slide, Greg. The main conclusions from our needs analysis was there's a need for fire safety education at post-primary level, that it should be delivered in school by teachers with the support of fire personnel. And the main target age group should be the 13 to 15-year-olds. However, as the project developed, we discovered opportunities to develop suitable content for older students. And you will be introduced to the content for the various age groups later in the training workshop. Next slide. In putting together the project consortium, which you can see on the screen, I was conscious of the need to include representatives from Western, Central and Eastern Europe so that the good practices in place in Western and Central Europe could be shared with our partners in Eastern Europe. So I invited 9 partners from 7 EU countries to participate, including fire service colleagues and experts with experience in delivering fire safety and other education programs and in using and developing online learning and digital technologies. Next slide. The aims of the project were developed in accordance with the Erasmus Plus project guidelines, obviously, and one of which was to develop high quality skills and competences using digital practices in a digital era. So we wanted to provide students with the knowledge, skills and attitude necessary to keep themselves and others safe from fire, to know what to do in an emergency, and to be aware of the risks that they face on a daily basis. The second aim was to promote the European Digital Education Action Plan 2018 to 2020, which is to encourage schools to make better use of digital technology for teaching and learning. A 2018 OECD study found that on average, less than 40% of educators across the EU were ready to use digital technologies. And that's why we have tried to incorporate as much online learning and other digital technologies as possible as part of the project. And you will see more of that during the training event over the next 2 days. Last slide, Greg. Then to answer the question, who developed the material? The original content was developed by an Irish project working group over a 2-year period. And we sought assistance and expertise from leading fire safety organizations worldwide. And we will hear from those during this event as well. And the final content of the program was reviewed and validated by our project partners. And I would like to thank them and everybody involved for all the hard work they did in developing this new program.